Welcome to The Crucible, Conversations for the Curious. I am Hamish, your host. This podcast is for anyone going through awakenings, trying to make sense of life, whether dark nights of the soul, needing to make life-changing decisions, struggling with addiction or critical illness, or simply realizing that their life as they know it is not aligned to values and purpose. You are not alone. You can get through this, I promise you. Life is far more beautiful on the other side. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Crucible. Yet again, it is Juliana and myself. We have had so much fun and so many great conversations with you guys and by ourselves that we thought we'd bring another one into the mix. Today, I want to talk about beliefs. And this cropped up when I had a lovely walk in nature a few days ago. And it got me really thinking about beliefs. Where do they come from? Where do we process them? How do they affect us and things like that? I think we'll start very simply. Beliefs for me stemmed from growing up, parental beliefs, society's beliefs, and things like that. And I didn't question them. So I really feel that beliefs are in the head. They're nothing to do with your heart. They're nothing to do with your body. This is your belief. You know, be good. Go to school, get an education, believe in God, believe in your God, whatever your God your parents tell you, or lack of God, that doesn't matter. But my feeling and what really came up when I was going for that walk the other day was beliefs are unconsidered things that we are told. So, as I said, we are told to believe in a God, we are told to do this or do that. And they go straight up to here because we are told them and they go into here. And until we look at them and then question them and wonder about them, they are our narrative, they are our story, they are simply our program. And they may not always be actually what me as a person wants. You know, I may not want to believe in a God. I may not want to do this and do that. And I'm not going to waffle on too much longer, but I think what made my life complicated was Hamish did not agree with the beliefs that he was brought up with, and that caused a disparity, that caused a conflict, and I didn't know how to deal with that for a very long time. So that is my thought of what a belief is. Juliana, I'd love to know what you think a belief is, or how you perceive them, how you comprehend them.
Yeah, hi. Yes, for me, beliefs is what we do. What, for example, now that you mention about religion, my mom take me from a small child, go to church and go there, and you have to be there, and there is a God, and then you need to stay quiet, and then you need to do this and do that. So I create that belief that there is a man, and I need to praise it, and I need to, things that we do so many times that it's becoming as a habit, is like automatically, is that what we do, is the belief like this is how we do it, like that, there is no question. So that's one of perspective of how I'm seeing beliefs. And as you say, I'm agree with you, like growing up I have been input in my own beingness some beliefs that my parents believed in, and they say this is how is life and this is how we do it, and there is don't you questioning because there is nothing to question, this is the way. So agree with you there as well. It's like beliefs also we taken from what parents thinks, what their experience was about, and then through their own experience told us that this is the life and that's how we move in life, be having these beliefs, these patterns, because the beliefs is to some point, to some level also there are some patterns that is so rooted in our beingness that we are not aware of it because it's so coming so naturally so in our way that we don't even observe it what we do. So beliefs are things inputted from a small child or from our own experiences that has been created a specific understanding. And then every time when we experience, we get hit in these beliefs that, hey, this it is, I experienced last time and last time, and my mother also, and that's what it was, so this is how it is to be doing. Yeah, so that's how it believes, how I'm seeing and perceiving at this moment. Something we do it very often, almost we are not aware of it. Other things we are being grow up as a child and is so rooted in our own system that it's like it's impossible to see out of that box, because it's formed of actually of who we are today. But again, going back to awareness, being aware and choosing and questioning, then we can actually question those beliefs and get out of them, dive them, break them, look at them from another perspective, and see, is that healthy or is that not healthy? Yeah.
I like that. It's yeah, it's unconscious, as you said. It's unconscious. It's what we've been advised, and it reminds me very much of the conversation we had the other time about lenses. You know,
Yes,
it is those lenses that I put on, or my parents put on, and they painted the colors and the scratches, and that's what I see through.
exactly.
Yeah, and my story. For those of you who know my story, I struggled with addiction because I didn't know how to reconcile certain beliefs, and I didn't. Doesn't really matter how or why, but I didn't question those beliefs because they were what I was told to do and be. And when I started questioning those, it was my identity was being shattered. I was having to challenge everything. And that is really frightening. And it was scary. I was having to challenge everything up here with what Hamish wanted, what was going on in here. And it's just like, well, that isn't serving me and that isn't serving me. And it was very hard to deprogram those beliefs. Um, and I think it's not necessarily a case of deprogramming them, because sometimes they may be, you may be, yeah, I actually believe in that God, and I I have chosen that, so I've embodied it from here down into my heart, down into my body, and I've made that belief a a lifestyle, a structure, rather than
Mm.
just being told. Um, but I think it's critical that we question everything, but without judgment and without any resentment, because yesterday that's what I believed because that's what I was told 2 days earlier. um how do I start questioning my beliefs? How do I start wondering whether that is true for me? Is it, how do I begin to deconstruct that programming and check into whether it is actually what I want, desire, or whether it is actually damaging me?
Is from beginning with, is that working for you? Is those things still working for you, or actually becomes stick in the road and the tire, so to say, that's stopping you? Those beliefs are still working out for you. It's helping you to move forward to create whatever you wants to create. Because while you're speaking is coming to me that, hey, but this identity that we are, Hamish, Juliana, it creates a belief system. Everything is belief.
Hmm.
Like, so the identity also is creating a belief. That's who I should be. That's who I am normally. That's what I am doing regularly. That's who I'm hanging out with. So when we start to questioning the beliefs that we hold, I guess is when we are find out that the things that have been working out for us are not working out anymore. The way I behave, the way I was using to do the things, the way I don't know, the food that I was eating, now my body is screaming and out loud and say, stop eating this crap because I feel so uncomfortable. And then you start to question, like, hey, I eat this was my favorite meal, and now my body is screaming out loud, don't want, I feel sick afterwards, like, why? So from there I start, from this small hints of feeling in the body, what's working out for you and where you want to go, which direction. And if there is a direction that it's not is not and in the direction you want to move is not allowing, or is not working out anymore the things that you was used to do, to talk, to behave, to think, that is not working out, that's mean it's something you have to let go, detach, question, look in, and choose and ask yourself, why do I have this? Why do I believe this? Why do I'm still holding on this reality? What's that? Because yeah, from my perspective is this one. When you feel, sense, experience that the things are not working out anymore the way have been worked out in the past, and that start to the click is coming in and start to question. Yeah.
Yep. I I got as you were saying that and the different path. It's like, yep, I need a new car. The car I've got isn't working anymore for me. It's got bald tires. It's got an old engine. It's out of date. The seats are uncomfortable. And if I want to move ahead, I need to make some changes. And buying a new car is often expensive. Changing your lifestyle is often expensive. Um, but how do you? I mean, looking back at my journey, I was. It was easier to drink. It was easier to isolate. It was easier not to confront that belief for a long time, than to actually go, I don't like that. That's not working for me. I didn't have that awareness. I didn't check in. I didn't, see the bumps on the road, realize how bald the tires were, realizing my windscreen was really, really dirty. How can some people suddenly go, this ain't working, and other people like me are just driving that old car like an absolute loony, and it's almost down to that self-destruct. How do I not repeat that pattern of going into getting myself into such a mess? Because certainly in the world of addiction, people are so afraid of change. They're so attached to that destruction, um, and that belief structure. And that belief structure may well be, I'm a useless person. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an addict. Nobody loves me. I'm not worthy, and all that kind of stuff. All that narrative, let's say, that was, from society. You can't be a drug dealer. You can't be a drug addict. You mustn't be an alcoholic. No, you can't do prescription drugs. You mustn't be fat. You mustn't be slim. How do we challenge those beliefs in a way that is not going to make us go mad? Because it nearly made me go mad. It nearly killed me, to be honest, not just going mad.
Yeah. So one of the things is, are are you ready to let go of the identity you was think is who you are? Because what we hold on is like, this is who I am. I'm drinking, I'm playing, gambling, or whatever. This is who I am. This is what I always did. So it's require a lot of inner strength and power to willing to detach, to let go. It's like, because I feel like we hold on identity and this is what we do and this
Mm.
is how I am. But are you ready to let go of that belief? This is who you are, or this identity that is always playing, gambling, drinking, having party, whatever is doing. From my perspective is to come close and to listen to your body, because everything is there. And we are so disconnected from our body that we are not
Mm.
aware specific foods are actually not healthy and is so uncomfortable for us. But if we'll be and feel our body, we will catch ourselves a piece of, let's say, fast food is so heavy for the system. The same with this, the same with addiction, the same
Mm.
with whatever we are, how we feel in the body. You see, we are so get detached from the body because there's so much going on in our experience. We go through so much pain that we are out of the body. Let's say we are not fully in.
Mm.
Exactly.
In our head, just in our heads, aren't we? Yeah.
Exactly. When I
Mm.
say in the body, is like, as you say, yes, in the heart, which is the feeling, to sense what's going on here. Because when we are here, we are not here. When we are in the mind, we are not in the body. We are just operate for this matrix. We need to do this, we need to follow this, we need to eat this, and everybody do this system, as you said, like what is required, what is asking for us to do this and this and that. Being in the body, because there is everything. There is your belief systems, there is your stuck emotions that create that belief system. There is all the answers that you look outside of yourself are in your physical body, in connecting with your emotional body, so to say. So to not go mad is to realize from the mental level that this is not who you are. You are not your mind. Your mind is creating a reality. It helps you to navigate to this uh, three-dimension world, to this physical world, to keep you safe as this avatar. But it's not lead your life. Don't know to lead your life from a place of let's say foundation, this from feeling and unity and love and kindness, and to take care of your own emotional system. The mind is more external, so to say. So if you comprehend to the mind level that you are not this, and this what you have been hurt, read through all this life till this point moment is not the reality, because everything is here in your body. Then connecting with your emotional body, with your physical body, you'll feel, oh, this is not working out anymore. But it has to happen something. It
Mm.
has to be there a click. As you said, there was a crisis. There was like something from the inside come up and think, if I will not do stop this, I will end up in a really shitty place.
Mm.
Hey, that's something have coming from within, where you suddenly kind of got this wake up call. I was like, whoa, I need to see pay attention more what I'm doing. So until that is not happening, it's like you're still
Mm.
playing out. But why should we wait that to happen? Why
Because we're
not we
human.
say, what?
Because we're human. Because we're stupid. Because we're frightened. Because we're
Yeah,
scared. Mm.
exactly. We are afraid. Afraid of what? Change.
Mm.
What is outside of that reality that is not here right now? What I will do if I will not do X, Y, Z? Who am I if I don't do X, Y, Z? That's the fear. And why should we wait to come a crisis in our life when we take decisions? Say, okay, I will start question and I start
Mm.
feel, be back, feel my body. Yeah. So I think answering to your question is, don't wait a crisis. Connect with your body, with your emotion, feel into your body what's right for you, what's not. Is the same with the relationship, with addiction, with behaviors you have, everything. And feel how that feels for you.
Mm.
It's give you good feeling, or is like of irritation or something. That's your compass to follow.
Yeah, I like that. And as you were saying that, I sort of got the sense that this your brain makes up a reality, very very much so. You're living in that from past experiences, and
Yes.
yet our body in this physical world, our body is touch, taste, smell, see, hear. That is where we actually interact with the real world. So
Yes.
there's two worlds. There's one in here, and there's one out there that we touch, and our body is the interface, isn't it, to understand the world. And then this thing, our heart and our gut, that's to sort of feel into it and decide what we want to do within there. So there's a whole pile of it. There's a whole pile of realities, and yeah, I mean, for me, it was I was living in my own head
Mm.
reality, which was very fearful. And if I do this, then that, if I break this belief, then this. And yeah, sadly, it took me until, it wasn't, this ain't working. It was like a car crash before I
Mm.
changed or had to change. Yeah. And then, but I mean, I want to touch on, a lot of the beliefs that we get from our parents and from society are actually healthy. Morals for one. Be a good person. Treat other people respectfully. I think it's no harm to question those, is it? And then if these two things go tick, I like that. Then we can embody it and go, yeah, that works for me. And I think that's that that is a way of doing it, and not being curious, being really curious about every single thing you do. And that's hard because, as you said, it's all unconscious. So yeah, I mean, how do we start to observe these things?
Is how do you want to live? How do
Okay,
you want to live? What do you want to experience? How do you want to feel? What you want to
so
bring in your life?
you're saying I can choose how I want to feel.
Yeah.
Okay, explain that one.
For example, you are facing a situation and it's trigger you something in you, and then the mind, that trigger or that feeling is it, it's raising in your body, and then the mind create a story, and then it's rolling, and then that story rolling is creating more feeling, more rage, whatever there is. In that moment, if you catch yourself and think like, okay, I see it, but I will not give into it because I don't want to experience that at this moment. Yes, it's something we have to go through to feel, if it's triggered, to deal, to realize, but we can choose how to feel. We can choose to feel in the moment. If you have a conversation, it's something like, and say, no, I will not give because so much is going from the mind, because the mind hears something and is based on the world stories and starts create something. And then when the mind creates something, the feelings is raising. Instead of say, hey, I'm in control and I will not give into it, I will choose to feel at peace at this moment instead of buying it in the stories that my mind wants to create.
Mm. Choose your reality, isn't it? So I'm either
Yes,
choosing the reality in my head or the one that's around me. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
Because everything is in your hands. You have a choice,
Mm.
and nobody can choose for you. It's
No.
your decision.
Mm. I like that. Choose your reality. What reality do you want? What outcome do you want? Do you want a favorable one? Do you want one where you stay friends with somebody even though they were an idiot at you? Or do you want to beat them up because they pissed you off? Um,
Exactly.
yeah,
And
choose your
nothing is
reality.
right or wrong. It's just an
Mm.
experience to have. Nobody is good or bad. It's like, okay, I want to be this pain in the ass. Okay, so be that. I mean, it's your choice, it's your life to experience on earth.
Okay, that's interesting. And then so I've chosen my reality. I've looked at one or two beliefs and realized that that doesn't work for me. That does.
Yes.
I suppose I'm also shedding my identity, aren't I? I'm shedding that old belief.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
crap! Yeah.
You are recreating something new.
Mm.
Because you see, we have the foundation, as you said, from parents. We have some specific values. You can you can have it with you if that's what you want and that's working out, and it's kind of have the foundation.
Mm.
But then when the other beliefs that are not anymore helping for us is fading away, when that's going away, they have to be replaced or something else. By replacing with something else, you create a new identity.
Mm.
You are not Hamish for 1 year ago.
No. Mm.
That's new identity.
Mm.
The people that you know for 10 years ago, if you will meet with them, they will not recognize you. You are not the same.
Mm.
So you are evolving, you are shedding your old skin, and you're creating a new identity by letting go of beliefs, questioning what you have been believed to this moment, and replace it with something healthy that you think, feel is for you healthy, is about you.
I went to a school reunion a couple of years ago, and last time I'd seen these people, I was 15, and this was 25, 35, 45, 35 years later, 36 years later. And there's Bruce. I remember Bruce being like that. I remember Karen being like that. I remember Simon being like that. Apart from that, all the boys had no hair left, and all the girls weren't quite as young and pretty as they were. You know, the only thing they had in common was their name, and half the girls had renamed themselves, obviously by marriage. And it was, yeah, it was exactly that. Just, I cannot, you aren't Bruce from 1985. You're not Simon from 1985. So who are you? I had to sort of, I remember sitting there and talking to them and going, right, let's put let's put Simon, age 15, there. Let's see who he is, and almost pushing out that old one, getting rid of that old narrative. And it was easy to do because it was a big difference. It's not like a
Mm.
one step difference. It was 15, I said 35 years. So by that, it's going to be easier to question really old beliefs. But what about things that, new habits that I've created? We create new habits all the time, new patterns. How do we spot those? Because are they easier to get rid of when we spot them because they haven't been ingrained so much? I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that?
The new habits, tell me more about.
Well, let's say a new belief. As I said, I went to rehab. I came out. I realized that, they told me that everything was my fault. I had to take 100% responsibility for everything, even though there was me, there was a partner, there were clients, there was business, there was this, there was that. My part of that is how I responded to all of those things. Some of those people were great, some of them weren't. So, those I was told to take responsibility for everything. Yeah, it was my fault. It was my fault. It was my fault. So I took that on board for a little bit, but that also didn't serve. Um, One of the things I do dislike about AA and NA is, hi, I'm Hamish, I'm an addict. Hi, I'm Hamish, I'm alcoholic when I'm clean and
Yeah.
sober.
Mm.
That does not work for me. That belief
Mm-mm.
that you should always carry your sins to remind you of how bad you are. I mean, apart from the fact that is essentially Christian dogma, I'm a sinner, therefore I go to hell,
Mm.
that kind of stuff. So then, we pick up new habits, we make new habits when the old ones um, disappear or when we get rid of them. But they're going to change as well, aren't they?
Yes. Yes, it's like shedding the skin, like the snake shedding the skin so many times in this life if we see us as that snake. So if you hold some belief system that help you to overcome a specific period in your life, that those beliefs was helping you to
Mm,
overcome whatever, great. Do they help you after that? No. So why hold them? You are not that anymore. You maybe were through that experience, but you are not anymore.
mm,
So why should you hold them? No, let them go because you are not that. It's help you for a short period of time, 2 years, 3 years, but then
mm,
let it go because you overcome, you learned whatever was there, and then you moved on and then create something new. It's like constantly we need to surrender to the experience to let go and let go and let go. Let go of beliefs, let go of identity. We think this is who we are because in the end of the day, it's not your fault. Now you know you need to go to the experience because it's teaching you something and na na na. But you are not that. You have been had an experience, but you are not that.
mm,
So again, let it go. If that belief system is help you to overcome whatever you find yourself in. So you need is good, but then let it
Mm.
go. Don't carry with you the whole life, because
If it's not going to serve you, because
exactly.
sometimes it might be. I really like that. I resonate with that. That makes sense. So I guess it's again it's discernment, isn't it?
Yes. Again,
Mm.
it's helping you. It feels that it's assisting you, and it will help you to yes, so have it with you. It's so much about what's working for you and what's not working for you.
I saw a pendulum. You know, it's you swing, you change a habit, and then you usually go too far. You know, on a spiritual awakening, you become love and light, and everything
Hmm.
is beautiful, and everything is this, and then the reality is there is hard shit to deal with, and it's not all love and light and fluff and bunnies and rainbows and unicorn farts and things like that. There is shit. People die. Things happen. So it is a yo-yo. It is a pendulum, isn't it? And
Yeah, up and
it's
down.
being not attached, isn't it? It's being aware but not
Exactly.
attached.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, not even being a touch of your own identity. You
Mm,
are evolving, you are constantly learning something through the experience that you have in life, constantly is shifting you, is transform you, is shape you in another person with another value, with another kind of way of being, feeling, experience life. So
mm,
why should we hold Juliana that experienced 10 years ago something? Why should I hold on that identity of myself, which which who I am today is so far away? Like, let it go. That's why take you open your
mm,
fist and let it go, the identity you create for yourself for 1 year ago, what you have told to yourself, I will never do this, and you find yourself to a place where I think it will be clever if actually I will do that, but you say to yourself you don't do it. So but this, if it's working for you today, why you hold on, I said I will never do it?
mm.
Because again, we create something from the mind, and yeah, let it be and let it go, and detached for your own belief system from the way you think who you are, and be with the flow and allow to experience, take with you what's helping, the rest let it go, and like this you create your new identity, your new life.
Mm. You can be someone else every day, can't you, if you want to?
Ooh, yes,
Why not?
exactly.
That
Exactly.
that will confuse them. I'm thinking of bands, you know, from the 1980s and 90s when they were actually bands rather than just a DJ doing his stuff. Climbs back off his soapbox, but you know, a band, they would have a style of music and then they would reinvent them, and all the fans, hey, we want the old band back. People don't actually want us to change.
That's
You
what it
know,
is.
they want the old, they want the familiar, and they want Hamish,
That's
the drug addict or the alcoholic, to carry on drinking with them and go out and talk shite and spend money on stuff and talk the same nonsense, and you know, all that can't drive them home drunk and things. And when that identity changes, I leave people behind.
yes.
You know, it's also lonely when you have to change your identity or change your identity. It's lonely because people don't like it.
Yeah, and once you speak, I was like, why they don't like it? Why? Because they have to change their own approaching with you. They have to find a new way to connect with you because you are not that, and they know how you were. But because you're someone, they have to change. They have to feel discomfort in some way because they don't know how to take you. So is again like fears of changing themselves. So of course, we have to let them behind because
Mm.
or they don't accept the way we are, or they try to put in the box that we cannot fit anymore. And we go to a place where we will dissolve of this identity, because the soul has not any identity. The soul is just is experience, a human experience, but we are in this avatar that we have to deal with this and that and beliefs and character and how others sees. Yeah, so let it go, and having no identity is actually really surprising and feel liberated to
Mm.
experience life.
And if you're lucky, your friends, your partner will also be changing their identity. They'll be growing. They'll be experiencing new things, not just stuck as I'm mum. I'm dad, I'm a lawyer, I'm a this, but
Oh yeah.
I'm experiencing and then growing as well. Yeah, or not.
Or not,
Mm.
exactly. Because the most fearful things for a human being is to change the reality that has been created from a human perspective.
Mm.
And the I say, like, when we go to the spiritual awakening, we have to lose our minds to awaken our soul. That's mean we have to forget or to crumble everything a reality that has been created from the mind, so there will be a place where the soul can find its way. And that's fearful. That's the most fearful things for a human to
Mm.
experience. So yeah, comfort zone.
So
So that's that. Yeah.
beliefs are something we create in our head, or are get created in our head.
Is starting to be creating for from a place of head, like let's go to church every Sunday, and
Hmm.
then that it's transforming in a habits, and then it's creating a emotions, and then it's going through our body,
Hmm.
that it's creating identity. I go to church every Sunday, and that's who I am. So for me, it's like a belief system is not only that we need to look in my mind and find why out what it is in our body, as our energy, as our emotions, that it's here in our
Hmm.
physical body. So
So
to
can I just jump in? So
yeah,
if it feels nice in my body, as in wholesome nice, not as in sensual or addictive or that kind of thing. If it's appeared as a thought, go to church, I'm a Christian, I'm a father, I'm a mother. If the body feels it and it's really empowering, then that's a healthy belief, yeah?
yes,
And one that you
exactly,
can keep for now rather than dismiss. Whereas if
exact,
it makes you feel angry, agitated, dirty, it's probably something you need to question.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yes,
Yep.
you put it perfectly. Yeah, because we have to choose that's what is empowered and feeling free from the inside, instead of a kind of looking down and make ourselves small.
Yeah.
So those, if you feel empowered and it feels like, oh, I'm like on the top of the world, just me being that and feeling this, then yes, it's something that you can choose for yourself.
Mm. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then so that belief becomes, yeah, as you said, it becomes embodied, it becomes aligned with your, it becomes a value, I suppose, doesn't it? It becomes what's important to you.
Yes,
And for some people it is going to church, for some people it is becoming a shamanic practitioner, becoming a
yes,
healer, becoming this.
yes,
I don't want to go into, is that your identity, because it's not really about that, but it's a belief. Yeah, so the belief, basically you question, and then if it feels right, then you take it on, and if it feels wrong, let it go. It's about as complicated as that.
yes, exactly,
Mm.
exactly. And have to be aware that some beliefs just keep us stuck to move forward, and we don't know why, because we have it in the back of our head. That's mean is also is a feeling in the body, and we are not aware. Like, I want to step forward, I want to do this, but I feel fearful, or I feel like is in the body, the emotions, whatever you have been experienced 5 years old or 10 years old, or so it's like creating this emotion in the body. So one, you are again to experience to overcome that, you feel like you meet a fence, a wall, is because is that what's holding you, which is from within.
Mm.
Yeah,
Fab.
that's beliefs in my experience,
Mm.
feeling the emotions in the body, but also is creating first from what we perceive with our eyes.
Yeah. So they are something to question, and with curiosity and just with just
An
like that,
open mind,
an open mind. Yeah,
really.
fab.
Be free
Mm,
in just questioning and don't judge it and just open yourself to see another perspective to that. And you will get the answer
mm.
for you, whatever that is for
Yeah,
you.
I really like that. I think this has been a lovely, quick conversation. But I think we've really just sort of looked at something from a really interesting perspective. And yeah, don't hang on to your beliefs if they don't serve you, if they make you feel grubby, if they limit you. Um,
Exactly.
mm, yeah. Fab, my friend. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap up for now?
I just can add like this, just some things. Choose what's empowering you, what's make you feel free from the inside, liberated from the inside. And look at everything with curiosity and open mind. And be like that child discovering a new world, because the world within is a new fascinating world. So don't wait a crisis. Don't wait the life to hit you in a place where you feel in the corner, but get curious now and dive deep into your inner world to find what beliefs you hold, what story you tell to yourself that holds some beliefs that make you who you are and you feel stuck when in reality is a choice. So you know you are a free being, everything is within, and what you want to experience and how you want to experience life is there in you, with you, in your decision.
Fabulous. Thank you very, very much. That is brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode where Juliana and I can talk about things important to us, experiences, understanding, questions, things that we have experienced in life recently or not so recently and just had a chance to talk about. It's always fun to share what comes up, and we have lots of fun doing it and we really enjoy it. If you've got any questions, please message myself or Juliana and we will do our best to get them included in another episode of the conversation.